Hi, I'm Debbie, and this is Apple Harvest Stitching, and you've reached Flosstube episode number 13, I believe. And welcome to Christmas Eve, and happy winter solstice from yesterday. I am a day late of recording, and yeah, but we're here. We're here, and I have stuff to show you. And I received an order from 123 Stitch, which is all Christmassy stuff. So I figure I need to get on here one more time before Christmas in order to show you all of these festive items. So if you've seen one of my last two videos, you'll know that I had um, I had stitched 4 ornaments from this year's Just Cross Stitch Holiday Edition, and I now have the whoop, the two final ornaments all finished. So this one is well, I don't remember what it's called. It's like Snowflake stocking or something like that, but I like to call Let It Snow because that's what the words are. I did a color conversion on this. I used DMC 3809 and 3811. It's showing up a bit darker than it actually is, but it's like a dark turquoise. And I finished it with just some fabric that I had on hand, and it fits a gift card in there. So, and it also can go on the tree. So that's one finished. That's going to be a gift in a few days. And then the other one is A Quiet Place, also from that magazine. Oop, let's get out of the sun. This one is stitched with all the called for colors, all DMC. And this red color is actually, it's like an orangey red. It's DMC 919. And originally I was going to make it more of a Christmassy red, but you know what? This is more of a winter piece, and I kind of like the way it came out. So I ended up going back to the original color. This one is stitched on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. So nice and tiny, you know, that's my fingers. So that's like that's a good ornament, I think. And because it's more wintry, it can be out longer than Christmas. So this is going to be going, well, I'm not going to say just in case they watch, but this one was stitched on a 32 count raw natural um, linen fabric. And I did 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads. And this one is done over, it's 1 strand over 2 fabric threads. So those are finished. I barely remembered to take a photo of them for my records before they get all wrapped up. So those are done. Besides that, I only stitched on 3 projects this past week. I just really kind of dug in and wanted to stitch on whatever I wanted to stitch on. So the first one I'm going to show you is I recorded last Saturday, and after I recorded, I did stitch a little bit more on Exmachina. I'm just finishing up this final corner, and let's see if I can get in there a little bit. I'm kind of working in this area here, and I did I filled in a bit of a dark color in here, and then I brought it down and filled it out here. And I did another dark color that kind of surrounds this area. And I got in about 500 stitches, and then I put it down, and I haven't touched it since. So it's been over a week. But once I go through the other projects that I've worked on, I'll tell you more about this, because as we head into the new year, I think I'm really going to be leaning on just finishing this. I think I'm going to dig into this for like 1 or 2 weeks solid at a time and just kind of work on it for as long as I feel like, instead of switching projects more frequently. So it currently looks like open her up. So she currently looks like this. And yeah. So she'll be finished soon. I'm so excited. And then I will frame her. I already have all the stuff I need to frame her. And then I'll have a new focus. So that little bottom corner, just to show you. Let's get in there. No, I did not want to go there. Here we go. Okay. Without a glare, if I can. Maybe. There we go. And I'm just in this bottom corner over here. You cannot see that very well. That's okay. My camera's doing weird things because the sun is actually out, and so it just doesn't know what to do with itself. But we will enjoy the sun while we can. Okay, so that was Exmachina. The second one I worked on was my stocking, which is Holiday Glow stocking by Dimensions. It's a gold collection, so this is on 18 count, and you know there's all kinds of stitches in here of varying thicknesses and whatnot. I had originally started right in the middle and got like a couple of colors in, but it didn't really look like much. And then when you guys saw it last week, I had basically finished the stocking. Oh my God, the stocking. The scarf. I had finished the scarf. So now I put in 2 days on it, and I'm very pleased with, oh, the sun is moving. This is the only time I was able to film, and it's not, there we go. So I worked on the snowman. I got his face all done except for back stitching, and I worked down the colors wherever they went. I did, let's see if I can, nope, okay. Right here is the edge of the stocking. So that's really exciting. So all of the snow colors are in half cross, so they went very fast. So I was able to get a lot of, I was able to get basically all of those colors, the snow colors in on one day. And then the next day I did his, nope, I did his nose and the kohl for his eyes and mouth. And then I was working on his hat, which was in full cross. So he's looking good. I'm very pleased with my progress on him now. You can actually see something. So when I'm working on him, it's just that much more motivating to keep going. So he was a lot of fun to work on. And then the other one that's really been my focus, if I worked on Exmachina one day and the snowman, the stocking for 2 days, then the rest of the time was spent on 'Tis the Season by Blackbird Designs, which I have out of this Home for the Holidays book. And I've really been working on this one, and I've really been enjoying it. This is what it looks like when it's all finished. And the last time you guys had seen it, I had finished everything over here except for the words at the bottom. And now I've been working on the other half of the piece. And a loose goal of mine is to finish this project this season. And here is where we are. So I have done a lot. Let's see here. It's all curled up because for the first half of the pattern, I had this whole side rolled and I was doing it in hand. And when I came over here, I was just really uncomfortable with the amount of fabric that was open. And so I ended up putting it on a Q-snap. But so I brought the stem of this holly vine all the way down, and I finished the snowflakes at the top and all the rest of the leaves and the berries up there. I did the snowflake down there and some of the white down in here. And of course, all of the bird that you see there I did since we last spoke. And now all that I have to do is the bird's wing and the remaining white stitches. Now the white is not showing up very much on camera, but it does show up in person. And so all that I have left to do is right under the wing, there's a snowflake, and then it's the words. So the wing, the snowflake, and the words. So I will definitely finish this before the end of not just the season, but I'm going to finish it before the end of the year. Absolutely. So this is being stitched on 40 count Valor by Picture This Plus. Let's see if I can get this up here a bit more. And it's one strand of floss over 2 fabric threads, and I'm using the called for silks. I really treated myself with this one. I saw it stitched up at the attic needlework and just completely fell in love. And I was like, I have to do it in the called for colors. So yeah, so that is definitely going to be a finish. I will continue working on that today and possibly tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, I am leaving to go spend some time with family through Christmas. And then I'll be back home just after that. So I don't know if I'm going to get any stitching in while I'm with family. I may bring like a crochet project instead, something that doesn't need a lot of light that I can pick up and put down without having to look at a pattern. That's probably going to be better. So that'll be like 4 days of no stitching. But then when I come back, I'm definitely, if it's not done today or tomorrow, then I will finish 'Tis the Season. And then for the remainder up until New Year's, I've been thinking about pulling back out December by the Prairie Schooler and getting some more stitching in on that, because it was my December 1st start and I only stitched on it that day. So I'm thinking of bringing that back out. But this coming weekend, instead of a regular Flosstube episode, I'm going to be doing my end of year whip parade. And I have everything already organized, and I've organized it by season instead of like full coverage or samplers or whatever. I've organized it in groups of like projects that speak to me, like of spring and summer and fall and winter. And some of the projects may not seem of that season, but to me it feels that season, and it may be something that I only stitch during that season or something that reminds me of that season. So that's how I'm going to be going through my projects. And also, when I did my inventory, I have exactly 50 whips, which I'm not usually one to keep track of how many whips I have and not really have very many, goals on my projects and things like that. But I did go through them all and I categorized them down in a notebook. And so as I go through them during my whip parade, I'm going to kind of talk about if it has some kind of goal for 2025 or if it's a project that's on pause, because there are some that are on pause, and just kind of go through them very loosely. I am not in a place to put like hardcore goals in place because my mind is going to want to rebel against that immediately. So won't be doing that. But before that comes along, so that's going to be this coming weekend. And so that'll be fun. And then the last thing to share with you before I go is my 1-2-3 stitch purchase, because I was so pleased to work on 20 count Ada that I went on 1-2-3 Stitch to purchase some more 20 count Ada, and they didn't really have the kind that I wanted. I really wanted either Stormy Night or Vintage Country Mocha by Swagart, and they just didn't have any of those. So I ended up getting a half yard of 20 count ivory Ada. It's just an ivory Ada, which I can do a lot with. But then while I was on there, I was feeling super Christmassy and I had some birthday money. And so I ended up purchasing some more items. So I got Santa's Secret. Ooh, the light, the light. Uh, which is a gold petite by Dimensions. So, of course, it, has everything already in there. It's got some gold thread. That'll be fun. It looks like the his glasses are couched. So I've never really done couching before, so that'll be interesting. I have seen some videos of it online, so it looks like I should be able to do it okay, but that'll be interesting. I also got another stocking just because now that I've unlocked, the chart on the stocking I'm working on, it finally just makes sense to me. I ended up I've been looking at this one for a while. I really love the snow globe. So this is Santa's snow globe stocking by Dimensions. So that'll be fun someday. But that means that I'm super motivated to work on the stocking that I'm working on. And I have decided that it is going to come out throughout the year next year in 2025. It's not just going to be during the winter season. It'll come out more often. And then I got this Santa from Letty Stitch. This is called Christmas Miracle. It is stitched on 16 count Aida that has a very light grid on it. And it has 55 colors done with anchor threads. And it's going to be 29 by 30 centimeters or 11.25 inches by 11.94 inches. So that'll be fun. And you may think, oh, is that stitched on like a navy or a black Aida or something? No, it's you can kind of see it in the back there. It's on some kind of like ivory Aida. So all of those dark colors are stitched. But you know me, I'm a full coverage stitcher. I don't mind at all. And then I've been seeing, I've been really impressed with Shannon Christine designs, and I've been looking at her patterns a lot lately. And so I picked up two of hers. I really love this Christmas Manor. I love the green in it. And I think, well, I mean, it's a mock-up, but I think I would love to do this on some kind of green fabric in the background. I think that would be like lovely. And I love the keys that are in here. I think those are nice too. So I like that one. And it's 129 stitches by 129 stitches. So I love squares. So that's nice. If it's stitched on 14 count, it'll be over 9 inches square or over 23 centimeters square. But I would probably do this on a much smaller fabric. Well, I mean a tighter weave fabric so that it's not that big. And then let me pull out the other Shannon Christine one. This one is called Candy Lane. Ooh. There we go. We have Candy Lane, which you can see there. It's 87 stitches wide by 99 stitches tall. I love gingerbread houses. I think this would be a lot of fun to stitch. It does have some beads, but I have leftover Mill Hill buttons and beads kits that I've been saving the beads on, and I might finally organize those. I just have them saved in a Ziploc bag, like all the original bead bags are all in there. And I would just have to go through and maybe pick out some beads that would make sense, but I could do that. And then I've been seeing this one around, which is Santa Rides by the Prairie Schooler. And everyone's been picking out a lot of different ones that they love, but I haven't seen anyone mention that they love the balloon. And the balloon is my favorite. So I think next season, depending on how things go, like I would start that one. But I love all of them. I think they would make a really great like a dough bowl setup, and I'd probably stitch them small, like maybe on 40 count fabric or something like that. But yeah, I love those. I also like the ship, and of course the train. And then the truck one looks good too. And of course, I mean, he's on a reindeer there, and he's on a horse. I mean, I like them all. So I think they'd look good in like a dough bowl. So I got that. And then lastly, I got Night Before Christmas by Cooler Classic. And don't know, someone on Flosstube has been stitching this. And I also have some of their seasons favorited. They have collages like this for spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I know Jessie Marie Does Stuff has been working on some of those, and I just love the detail. So this would be a fun one also. So yeah, and then I also got some Peacemaker 28, size 28 needles, which are my favorite. And for some reason, I've lost half a pack and I can't find the actual card that has the other half on them. So I have one 28 count needle, 28 count, 20 size 28 needle that's sitting on a needle binder with a couple other needles on it, and I've just been like hoarding it around. So yeah, so those are, I just had, a little fun picking up some Christmassy stash, because as you'll see in my whip parade next week, in the winter section, I actually don't have that. That's the section that has the least amount of projects in. So um so yeah, so I had to fix that, right? But yeah, so that's everything I've been working on ahead of Christmas. I am enjoying all the floss tubes that I've been on, flossless wise and not. Everyone seems to be putting up their whip parades quite early this year, and I've been enjoying them as well. It's been a lot of fun to watch. I've also been watching Christmas movies. I do have a set of Christmas movies that I watch every year. Um, I don't know, do you guys have any like holiday type movies that you have to watch every year? I'd be interested to hear what they are. One of mine is The Family Stone, which I think came out in like 2007. And I just love the family dynamic, and I love their house, their New England house. And I have to watch it every year. Um, Another one is The Muppets, A Christmas Carol. Watch that every year. Love it. And then It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, but like the 1946 or 47 version, and Meet Me in St. Louis. I watch that around Christmas every year. And there's one more. Oh, The Polar Express. That has been my son and my favorite movie, basically since it came out. And we would watch it every year, and we would have hot chocolate while we watch it. And it was just one of our traditions. And this is the first year that we can't watch it together because he's still in Arizona, living his life the way he needs to. And I'm in West Virginia now. So I did watch it this weekend. I had to pull off the band-aid. It needed to be watched. I needed to like just do it in a different, in a different way. And so I did. And yeah, so those are some Christmas movies I watch every year, and I'd love to know if there are any that you guys typically have to watch every year. And then the last thing is, I'm curious to know if you have any holiday traditions that you do every year that's like a family thing, or just something that that you do uh, around this time of year. Typically, when I was growing up, my family and I would get into the car and we would drive around at night and watch and take a look at all the Christmas lights. And we would each be given like a candy cane to like suck on in the car, and we would just go around and look at all the lights and have Christmas music playing in the car. And so, um, when I had my son, that was something he and I always did too. We would pick a night and we would go out to eat, typically at a diner nearby. And at the diner, when we would pay our bill, I would pay like 100% tip to as like a Christmas gift for the waitress. And then afterwards, we would go to a couple neighborhoods nearby that had a couple like little, man-made lakes in there. They were like the nice houses, And and my son most recently would cultivate a Christmas list, of course. He's all about music and creates all these different playlists. And so he would cultivate all of our favorite Christmas songs on a playlist instead of listening to the radio. And we would drive around and look at all the Christmas lights and see them like reflecting on the water. And it was just so nice. Because in the Phoenix area, it doesn't snow, so you don't really get that cozy winter festive feeling. So it just being at night in the dark and seeing the Christmas lights was just the way that we would get into the Christmas spirit. So always love that. Not doing that this year either. So a little a little different. I was about to say it's a little difficult, but it's not. It's just different. And some things change, times change, and sometimes traditions fade out and you create new ones. So this year is the first year that I'm actually going to be spending time with my East Coast family that I used to every other Christmas when I was a teenager, we would come out to the East Coast for Christmas for my dad's and stepmom's family. And so this year, for the first time, like since I was a teenager, I'm gonna get to spend Christmas with that clan of folks. So I'm super excited. They do a Secret Santa every year, so I get to participate in that, and I'm really excited. So that's what I'm gonna be going off tomorrow to kind of hang out with all of them. So really excited, especially like with ever since COVID, there were like 2 years where we didn't travel at all. And, Arizona to like Pennsylvania is very far. And so between COVID and then my mom got sick. And so I spent all of my vacation time going to see her. So I haven't seen most of the folks that I'm going to see for Christmas. I haven't seen them since before COVID, not since 2019. So a new tradition. So anyway, regardless of whether you have traditions or if you're spending the holiday alone or whatever this season is for you, I hope that it is wonderful. I hope that you have some joy and some quiet moments, and I hope that wherever you are, that you're doing well. And I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and I wish you a wonderful end to the year and a wonderful new start to 2025. So thank you so much for watching. If you watched this long, and please tell me, what are your favorite Christmas movies? And also, do you have any traditions this time of year? I would love to hear it. But yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful couple of days, and I'll see you next weekend with my whip parade and talk to you then. Bye.